Calvary, the stewardship season is upon us, and I am in. Are you? It could be a hard question to answer if you don't know what stewardship is or what it means here at Calvary. Karen did a good job explaining, but put simply, stewardship is simply the idea that we are caretakers of the resources that have been entrusted to us by God. So whether you have money because of good fortune or privileged circumstances or a lot of hard work or wise investments or some combination of the above, we all share in common that these resources have been entrusted to us so that we can care for our planet and we can care for others. It can sound like cheesy religious talk, but when you think about it, without God, we don't exist. And so how do we say thank you to God for our very life? How do we say thank you to God for the communities that help us live that life to the fullest? Well, we practice gratitude, and we give. We give of our time, our unique gifts and skills, and we give of our finances. We are generous because God was first generous with us. That is stewardship. So what is stewardship here at Calvary? Well, it's a handful of weeks when we think very intentionally about the resources that we have and how sharing a portion of those resources with Calvary helps further the kingdom of God here on earth. And you are part of our Calvary community, and we need your financial gifts just like we need your presence in worship here today, or your presence at a small group, or your presence serving in our community. You're vital to who we are as a church, and your financial gifts are vital to ensuring that the structures that are around us that support us and create space for us to be community together and to share the gospel, that those structures and systems thrive, right? So think about worship and programs and mission giving and staff and building and property. That said, on behalf of the Stewardship Committee, I'm really excited to share with you our theme this fall, which is I'm in. I'm invited, I'm inspired, I'm involved, and I'm invested. The image you see on the cover of your order of worship is a pile of hands, and each hand represents, of course, a different person with their own story and journey. And by putting your hand in the pile, you are saying, I'm in. And I'm in with you, with all of us. We're in this together. If you all get the e-news, you got to see a picture of me this week from my elementary school days when I played soccer. I was on the Ladybugs soccer team. And before every game, our coach would invite us, all of the players, to put our hands in a pile like you do for many sports teams. And whether we were the best player on the team or we were on sidelines because of an injury, whether we were the goalie that always, kept the ball safe from the other team, or whether we kicked the ball in the wrong direction and ran down the field in the wrong direction, it didn't matter. In that moment, all of our hands were in the pile together. And if we weren't a part of that hand pile, that cheer, it was because we chose not to participate. It wasn't because our coach asked us not to, right? The coach never left anyone out. So it is with God. Right? By virtue of our very existence, God has invited us to show up in life and to be a part of the kingdom of God here on earth, a part of experiencing and sharing God's love with the world. And our vision of inclusivity echoes this theological understanding that God invites everybody to pull up a chair to the table to be part of the conversation. God invites all of us to receive grace and mercy, and God invites all of us to use our unique gifts to make a difference in the world. And so it's because of God's invitation that we have this community in the first place. And we work really hard then to invite others so that they know about this community too. I think you know that you're invited to be a part of God's work in the world because you're here. The question is, are you all in? Well, I am all in, and Damon is too. We are all in at Calvary, which is why we make a pledge each year to give generously and consistently throughout the coming year. We believe in this community, and we believe in our message that includes and invites all. And we know that we've been blessed by God, and a tangible way for us to show thanks, a way that shows our passion and our commitment and that makes a difference, is for us to give financially to Calvary. We do give to other organizations. However, each year we stretch ourselves to give a bit more to this place, to Calvary. And this year will be no different. We know that the more we give, the further God's reach of God's message. And so we stretch ourselves in different ways. I was a born and raised tither. That's my baseline, giving 10% of my income. So every year I increase that by a little bit. I've been at Calvary 11 years, and I've seen the blessings of those percentage increases and what we're able to do in our mission and ministry. Damon didn't grow up that way, so he kind of started at 5%, and he has a commitment to himself to increase by 0.5% every year, which puts him at about 8 or 8.5% right now. So each in our own way, we are sacrificing and getting creative about how we can give more to Calvary. Most importantly, we give with celebration and with thanksgiving for this community. This season, we invite you to get excited about stewardship and to invite others to partake of the blessings of God that you receive through this place. As you leave worship today, you're going to get 2 postcards. They both say you're invited. One of them has a message on it. If you're one that likes a little help in knowing how to invite people to church, there's a pre-written message there for you. The other card is blank so that you can write your own message, more personalized, and hand that to a friend or neighbor. It also comes with a new Calvary pen that has a stylus on the end, and that is our gift to you for being a part of this community. The idea is for you to share the word about Calvary with your friends and neighbors. You know, we hear all the time from some folks that Calvary is a best-kept secret in Denver. Could this be the year that we're no longer a secret? Can we invite others to join us in the work of God in this place? Commitment Sunday is November 17th, and you'll be receiving your pledge packets on November 3rd. I encourage you already to be prayerfully considering how God is moving you to give to this place. We have so much opportunity. Look around you, right? There are a lot of us here. We've got a big team to work with, right? But we always have room for more. We're going to start our stewardship season with a celebratory cheer. I want you to turn to those who are near you. This is an actual exercise. Turn to those who are near you, and I want you to put your hand in a pile like you're on a team. Good. And on the count of 3, we're going to say, I'm invited, and you're going to pull your hand up. You got it? 1, 2, 3. I'm invited. Good job, Calvary. You are invited. Now, who can you invite? The kingdom of God is meant for all. Thanks be to God.